really going to power Kannaway as we move forward. We have these incredible vape pens. We have these Canna Kicks. These are the kind of products that appeal to the youth market. And they appeal to everybody, but it's kind of one of those focused products that can really get a lot of traction with young people. And when you're looking at young people out there, we see a lot of people out there that have a lot of fun, but there are certain people that know how to have a lot of fun and build on a professional level. And one of the guys that I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the last few months is a young man by the name of Dominik Lipinski. You guys know who Dominik Lipinski is? I'll tell you what. First we were going to hire him on as a model, and then we decided he would be better off as a builder. Because this guy is teaching the right way to work with the youth market. He takes his business seriously, and he has a lot of fun while he's doing it. So right now I'd like to introduce you guys Mr. Dominik Lipinski, who's going to talk to us about working with the youth.
Yes? Cool? Alright, perfect. I wanted to make sure you guys can hear me so you can hear the accent that sometimes comes out of my mouth. So I have not been on stages as long as these guys, so I did prepare some notes so I don't get lost. So first of all, I really do want to congratulate you for being here, for really making the investment to come to Orlando and invest in your future. So my goal today is to give you a lot of value for the time that you came here and spent. To me, time is more valuable than money because you can always make more money, but you can't get more time. And my story is pretty simple. Like I said, I do have a little bit of an accent. I come from Poland. My parents brought me here when I was 14 years old in 2005. And they brought me here for a better opportunity. And to them, a better opportunity was to me to be possibly a doctor or a lawyer. And that's just not really where I wanted to go. And I wanted to always make them proud. But I also understood that I can't make everybody happy. I have to make myself happy first. So I decided to pursue entrepreneurship. So I went off to high school, graduated high school, went off to college, only for 6 months though, and I quit. I thought that I was smart enough, that I could make it without it, that I'll cross my fingers and hope for the best. And that was probably one of the worst choices I made. I should have stayed in school because by the time I was 22, actually I had about 12 jobs and life was not looking too positive for me. And for some of you might think, wow, that's a lot of jobs. Yeah, it was pretty tough to, change them quite frequently. And the day that changed my life around was actually 2 years ago when I first met my mentor. I'll tell you in a little bit. But what I can tell you is looking at my background, I really wasn't meant to be here on the stage. None of my previous family members are really widely successful. None of them can publicly speak besides like maybe family parties. And during that time, I realized that in order for my life to change, I got to change. So the reason why I'm able to stand in front of you today is really to share with you some of the principles that that gentleman actually taught me, who made a few $1 million in about a decade. And that was actually by the time the most successful person I've met in my life. So I asked him to be my mentor. And he thankfully said yes. And some of the principles that I'll share with you right now will actually, I hope, give you what you need in order to move forward with your dreams. So before I go into that, I'll do a little tease, like, sorry, that's a lot. I want you to stop for a second and really be thankful for what you have. I learned that gratitude actually opens for more positive things to come to your life. And without it, those things actually stop. So the very first thing is to believe in yourself. And that might seem pretty simple, self-worth. It's pretty easy, we should feel self-worthy. Now, there's one challenge. Most of us are programmed in a very negative way. And here's how that happens. By the time we're 18 years old, actually we get to hear about 150,000 times that we can't do something, we can't amount to doing that, or we shouldn't be doing this. And only about 7,000 times that we should be doing that, we should continue with this, or that our parents are proud because of this. So right away from the start, we're not in the best possible position. But here's what all that changes. Once you understand that everything until now, the way you are right now is just based on your environment, you actually have the power to make a choice and change that if you don't like the place you are in right now. So all that really concludes into a philosophy, a mindset that we have for our life. And with that philosophy is really like a building, like a foundation actually to a building. And that foundation holds the building, but you can't really see it. Same with our philosophy. We can't really see it, but we live on it on a day-to-day basis. So what I understood from one of my mentors is that once I'm able to change it and make a conscious choice about it, the second thing is to understand that everything is a process. You know, I spoke with Seth, and he finds it quite funny that about 2 years ago, if you would have met me, you wouldn't follow me, excuse my language, to the bathroom, not even a business. And that's true, because 2 years ago, I was not where I wanted to be in life. And one of the things that I learned, like I already mentioned, is I need to take specific actions in order for me to move towards my goals. One of the things that I also learned actually through a personal development speaker, Anthony Robbins, was you got to ask yourself the right questions. A lot of times people in business, they ask the wrong questions. And usually the questions that come up are some form or shape based in a negative way. Why can't I do this business? And usually what your brain will do is will give you answers. And it's pretty damn good at it. It'll give you answers like, oh, you're not worthy, because nobody in your family was successful. Why do you think you should be different? Well, instead, look at the opposite side of the coin and ask yourself, why should I do this business? Think of the reasons why you should actually make this business successful. And make it more than just money, monetary. Because a lot of times that's not enough to get you through the negative times that will come through building a business. Number 2, vision. Vision about yourself. The way you see yourself in the future. What some people might say, begin with the end in mind. And let me tell you a story. One of my best friends that I met about 8 years ago in English as a second language class in Chicago. We were both from Poland. He had a vision about himself to become one of the most powerful people in the entertainment business. He's a year older than I am, and 5 years ago he went off to college, actually not too far from here, Full Sail University. And he graduated with a 4-year degree inside of 2 years. 3 years ago, he came to me. I remember sitting in my car, and he shared with me he had a dream about this website that he was going to make successful. And the website was an online record label. He had a few projects, and out of those projects, he took one single idea and focused on it over the last 12 months. The project, the company is called Nasdaq, and it's a music stock market on the internet. Every song starts with $1, and then it increases in value based on the demand. Demand drops, the value drops. His goal was to become a millionaire by 25. And about 3 months ago, he called me, he was scratching his head. He was like, you know what, I don't think I can make it. I only have a few months left, and I'm nowhere near my goal. And about 8 days ago, on Friday, he signed a contract with one of the biggest financial investment groups in the world, and now his company is evaluated at $6 million. 2 months before his goal. Yeah, back to Camille. And it was For some people, it might seem like an overnight success, but for the people that were involved in the process, for all the conversations that went down, saying, I don't think I can do this, it was an 8 years in the making process. One of my actually favorite CEOs in the world, his name is Richard Branson, said that if somebody comes to you with a great business idea and you don't know what to do with it, you should just say yes and figure it out later. So my vision 2 years ago was actually to speak on stages like this one. And today I do have the pleasure to do so. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you. So number three is to take action every day.